The final curtain. We have a direct sense of life. When you gain that, you will put aside your mirrors and statues, your toys and your dolls. George Bernard Shaw. It's no secret that everyone wants to know a secret. We're all diving for answers in an ocean of mystery. More than anything, we want to know who we are, and yet this is the question we're most afraid to ask. Who am I? You may have asked yourself on occasion. Well, you know what you are not. You are not the roles you play. You are not your reputation, and you are not your reviews. You may have always measured your worth in praise. You've faked it. You've overacted. You loved the show, but whenever you had a chance to step away from the stage, you were relieved, weren't you? The drama seemed a little too intense. It looked a little crazy. It felt unnatural. Most of your behavior may seem over the top when you see it from another perspective. Sketch your history on paper, and you can see how playing a role brought you to a crisis point again and again. You can recall the times you lost yourself completely, or when you let down your team. Look carefully. Maybe you assumed too much and miscalculated. You went against yourself often, but there were also times when you preserved your integrity. There were times when you were awesome. Let your senses feel what you can't explain. Appearances deceive. You appear to be many things at once. You come across as a wide range of self-imposed limitations and outrageous possibilities. It seems, above all, that you are your own best-kept secret. The truth is much simpler than any of that, as you've discovered this week. You want to understand the mystery, but you are afraid to look too closely. What is real, you wonder? You worry that you've put too much faith in things that are not real. Reality is your mystery to solve. Questions need to be asked and explored. Obstacles need to be faced and conquered. More mysteries are waiting in the wings. There's more to discover about love, for instance. What is love? People often ask. You asked, listened, and shifted your perspective on love, and found that love is more than you imagined. Far from being one whimsical emotion, love is the totality of all emotions. Far from being a weakness, love is the energy that made you possible and still drives you to evolve. Every generation finds new answers to age-old questions. Some generations rediscover answers that were lost and forgotten. Solving one mystery opens the door to many, many more. Pull back the curtain and flood the dark places with light until you come to the final mystery, which lies beyond the maze. Leaving the stage. You may never have thought of your world as a stage before. You may never have considered your actions and reactions as a performance. Having that awareness, however, makes it possible to choose your roles and to play them with intention. Being aware gives you choices. You can choose the times you don't need to play a role at all. Instead, you can be present and spontaneous. You can make the choice to listen, to observe, and to put your attention on what's happening around you. And maybe, for the first time, you can examine the qualities that make you authentic. Your choices change with every situation, but awareness keeps you true to yourself. Someday you will leave the stage. We all do. The lights will go out and the play will be over. In professional acting, the theater must go dark at some point, and actors must fall out of character. They must say goodbye to the troupe and move on. The curtain will come down, and everyone, cast, crew, and happy patrons, will walk out of the theater to resume their lives. Closings happen many times within one lifespan, just as they do in the theater. Every show begins with great enthusiasm, but inevitably comes to an end. Old sets are broken apart, props are put away, and costumes are discarded. How do you prepare to exit the stage for good? How do you ready yourself for the larger mystery beyond the maze? First, you want to wake up from the dream. Yes, the dream. A stage play is a dream created by actors. A journey, too, is like a dream. It challenges you to improvise and to learn different ways of doing things. Your life is a dream that often seems nonsensical. Good luck may run out, and your friends may fail you. Your fortunes rise and fall again. On occasion, tragic events force you to be the hero of your own story. Maybe you're great at this already. Maybe you consider yourself an accomplished dreamer. Upheavals don't bother you. You are flexible. You are fearless in the face of change. You've done your best in all situations, and your body of work is admirable. Maybe now you can see your life in ways you never could before. For instance, you are here, actively engaged in your story, and at the same time, you are observing the action from a distance. You've learned the art of perspective, as a painter must. You've disciplined yourself to see the whole picture and to avoid getting lost in the details. You can see life in its totality, but you can also see yourself while you are immersed in the performance. You're right. Your perspective has changed, and maybe you're less attached to the roles you play. But before the lights go out on this amazing show, give yourself one last challenge as an artist: to leave the maze using your imagination. Just as imagination took you into other worlds back in those early days of childhood, your grown-up imagination can lift you out of the maze while you still occupy it. While your curiosity is sharp and your will is strong, continue to expand your awareness. Appreciate the value of your losses and successes, and learn to trust future outcomes. As you know, when death happens, you will cease to be part of the human experience. It matters that you live it now, with eyes that are open and a mind that is willing to play. Being human is a wild ride. It's never just one experience. Intensities change, devotions change. It can be terrifying and exhausting. It can be, and often is, sweetly astonishing. I urge you to see the human experience in its entirety. I encourage you to enjoy the fullness of that experience while you live, and to face one last obstacle when you're ready. The Last Judgement. You are free to be authentic when you no longer fear the judgments of other people. And what about your own judgments? Chances are that you judge yourself even more harshly than you do anyone else. You will continue to do so until you overcome the temptation to judge at all. Someday you'll stop. You'll make the final judgment. You'll hear it and cringe at the sound. Every impulse to judge after that will feel alien and uncomfortable. It matters that you pay attention. It matters that you modify your stories inwardly so that you can communicate respect outwardly. It matters to you. It matters to the physical body you occupy and the people who look to you for guidance. In order to play a role faithfully, actors assume specific points of view. Characters in a play are supposed to have lived real lives, with past histories to explain their actions. An actor's job is to understand their sensitivities and secret fears, and their tendency to judge. Imagine if a character had no judgments about anything. Would he seem boring and unworthy of an audience's attention? Maybe. Most people would say that flawed characters are the most intriguing. Villains are compelling characters, for instance. Perpetual victims are also compelling. It's usually the best and the worst of people that make the audiences take notice. But you and I aren't trying to keep audiences entertained anymore, are we? How would you behave if you no longer needed to please an audience? What if you weren't afraid of being judged? You'd listen better, wouldn't you? You'd relax and observe. You'd delay your reactions and focus on the moment. The entire tone of your performance would change. Judgment is the villain in your private movie. Once it's driven from the plot, you can explore a vast range of human emotion without all the drama. You can feel without having to make the audience feel. Nobody has to laugh or cry. No one needs to go home unsettled or depressed. Your name doesn't have to go down in the books as the greatest performer who ever lived. You can be remembered as someone even more captivating, someone who was authentic. Professional acting sometimes succeeds where our best efforts as amateurs cannot. Actors often manage to capture moments of truth. Professionals are concerned with making a good living, of course, but also with the integrity of their work. They want to feel proud when their work is done. They want to be elevated by their art. Like many of us, they want to touch a godly truth. The trouble is, we've been encouraged to focus on our failures. We're distracted by our flaws. As actors in training, we were judged on our appearance. We were judged on our manners. It mattered that we performed well in school and behaved well in society. We endured a lot of criticism, so naturally we grew up to focus on our imperfections. In my view, everything is perfect as it is. You want to develop rather than remake yourself. You've become blind to the wonder of you. Keep in mind that an artist doesn't see imperfection. Artists are beguiled by their subjects. Artists are captivated by the magic of life. Let's go back to the movies for a minute. Imagine you're in that dark theater, your arms wrapped around a tub of popcorn. You are ready to be transported. The movie begins. Right away, you are dazzled by the images in front of you. You are quickly caught up in the plot. Now, imagine that there's a speck of dirt on the screen. Once you've seen it, you can't see anything else. It annoys you and you can't let it go. You can't focus on the actors or the scenery. Gradually, you lose track of the plot and your emotional connection to the story is lost. The whole point of going to the movies was to enjoy a break from your obsessions, and now here you are, obsessing. More than that, you're missing the wonder, you're missing the magic. Somewhere beyond your sight, a light is shining through a strip of celluloid, or through a prism, or onto tiny mirrors. Film technology changes and evolves, but the principle is the same. Light touches matter. Light is reflected, and light's information is dispersed. In the case of a movie, a series of images is enhanced and then projected onto a screen. You see the result, and you recognize it as a picture story. As you watch, the story becomes your reality, and you respond to it emotionally. The more you believe you're part of the action on screen, the more emotionally invested you get. It took remarkable genius to put all those elements together to such powerful effect, but it's a perfect example of art duplicating life's mystery. Light shines on matter. Light bounces off of matter. What we see triggers certain feelings. Life is an awesome light show, and each of us experiences the show differently. Fixating on that speck of dust on the screen is a choice. You will focus on it until you decide to broaden your vision and absorb the entire experience. Meanwhile, truth is flashing behind the lens. Life is waiting, calling. Never mind what everyone else is doing. Can you feel it? Are you paying attention? Life makes all things possible. You make things possible in your own way by creating things out of pure imagination. Inspiration, that mysterious force, allows you to create beauty in infinite ways. It allows you to spark inspiration in others and share a love for what you do. Humanity can be your playground, or it can be your best excuse to suffer. The world is caught up in its own drama and is paying no attention to yours. Your family taught you to conform. Now you can break some of those rules. You can ask impossible questions and face difficult answers. You can find excellence with or without an audience, and decide for yourself what the next act will bring. The next phase. Acting requires belief and commitment. Being a good audience requires the same thing. When actors can't persuade an audience to believe, they fail at their craft. If the audience isn't willing to accept the premise of a story, however fantastic, they fail as collaborators. What if this happy conspiracy was motivated by a mutual desire for truth? An entertaining lie is great for the theater, but it doesn't serve us well in ordinary life. Deception is hard to justify or defend. Melodrama can be exhausting. In a play or movie, it's thrilling to imagine witches stealing children or alien creatures invading our galaxy. It can be fun to believe superheroes patrol the skies, but we don't want to live in a world that runs on fear or fantasy. Evolution is about growth. It's about adaptability. And you have the capacity to adapt. You can self-reflect. You can face irrational fears and dispel them. You can imagine fantastic things without putting your faith in them. You can admit you're dreaming, and you can shift the dream. You can even transform the dreamer. You've envisioned your path as a walk through a college campus, a place where mysteries are discussed and explored. Life on campus is easy. Your fellow students are there to confide in you, to guide you, and get you where you're meant to be. The idea of Earth as a university campus is illuminating. It reminds you that you're here to learn. You've also imagined your journey taking place on stage. Any stage is intimidating, perhaps, but your fears are shared by other players. You've always been an actor, studying at the same drama school as the rest of humanity. You see that your performance skills were taught by experts. You can decide now where those skills will take you. Finally, I've asked you to see your life as a maze, the kind of place where your progress is hard to measure and where your vision is limited. In a maze, you live with the stress of not knowing where you are or where you're going. A maze is full of false starts and random disappointments. You're surrounded by reflections, but you can't trust them to tell you the truth. So it makes sense to nurture a deep love for yourself. Love is essential to appreciating the beauty of this, your only lifetime. The idea of walking through a maze is exactly that, an idea. New ideas can help you move beyond your present ways of thinking. This particular idea helps you see how you've walked through life and how you can move ahead with enthusiasm. Sometimes you've been clueless, sometimes not. You've been paralyzed with fear, and you've also been brave through the traumas. The idea of a maze reminds you that you came into the world here and will exit somewhere over there. It's up to you to navigate the spaces in between. I've asked you to imagine your journey through life in several ways, as a campus, a stage, and a rambling garden maze. Each one paints a picture of your life. Each one places you at a different level of awareness at different points in time. Right now, you may think of yourself as a constant student, never quite ready to rise to the next level. Or you may think you know it all. You may think you graduated long ago. Maybe you've already taken your show on the road and toured the world. You've built a career on the strength of one role, one winning performance. Of course, today you're not what you were yesterday. You're a struggling student one moment, a valedictorian the next. Your audience is with you one day, and they don't show up the next. We're experts and amateurs, interns, and all at once. At any point, you can decide if your actions are in sync with your awareness. Your journey will end at the time of your death, but while you live, see things as they are. Enjoy the reflections, but value what is real. The exit to this labyrinth may suddenly appear beyond the next tree or shrub. The end of the journey may come before you've fully appreciated its beauty. While you're here, make sure your eyes are open and your senses are wide awake. What can I do now? Take a deep breath. Exercise your imagination and expand your understanding. Focus your energy. First, believe who you think you are. This should require no effort, since that is exactly what you do all the time. Once you have that familiar sense of comfort, knowing what you know about yourself, stop knowing. That's right, stop believing. You are not who you think you are. Feel the emotional discomfort of that, and relax into it. Feel safe not knowing. Now, feel the sensation of believing something you know to be true about someone close to you. Once again, this is something you do on a constant basis. You think you know people. Once you have that sensation, that absolute conviction that a person is completely known to you, then stop. Stop believing what you think about them is true. Feel a lightness where that belief once existed. Play with beliefs in that way. Recognize a conviction and then invest belief in an opposing conviction. Finally, discard all conviction on the subject. This leaves you with an uncluttered perception, moment to moment. The exercise is not to make you stop caring, but to show you how emotionally connected you are to your beliefs. In this way, you see how detachment is possible, and that attaching, again, is a choice. Believe it is not. As we've discussed, your attention determines what you believe, not the other way around. Spiritual mastery is about transcending the main character of your story. It's about seeing beyond your immediate environment and expanding your sense of reality. Mastery for a professional artist means the same. Professionals lose themselves in their art. They document what they see and imagine what they cannot see. At their best, they awaken other artists like you and me. They make us aware of things we hadn't yet considered, and awareness grows over time. Awareness begins in the womb as the fetus grows and the infant brain develops. There, as matter slowly takes shape, the senses stir, perceiving light and sound, warmth and weightlessness. From those earliest stages, we're all collaborators in our own transformation. Life gives us the raw materials, and we develop them at our own pace. You've already succeeded at 3 important challenges. You continue to grow in awareness. You keep evolving, both physically and spiritually. Your will is strengthening. Remember that your will makes change possible. It has the power to discourage you, and it has the power to push you beyond normal boundaries of perception. Awareness, transformation, will. Today, and for all future days, these are important tools for your evolution, and you have others. Imagination, for instance, takes you anywhere you want to go. Collaboration intensifies creativity, so don't forget the troop. You share this vast stage with countless others. Allow them free expression. Respect their talents. Respect invites opportunities in life and in art. Every teacher is a guide, offering clues to seemingly unsolvable mysteries. A teacher can point you in the direction of truth, but where the journey will take you is its own kind of mystery. I appreciate your will to wonder and to learn, and I've been honored to help you in that effort. This week, you've seen your life from different perspectives. Whether you imagine yourself walking across a campus or across the world, you've learned from the choices you've made. You've learned from the places you've visited and the people who fascinated you. You've discovered skills you may not have thought you possessed. You've learned to appreciate talents that were developed in childhood and refined as you matured. You've seen how those talents can be shaped to suit your present awareness. You also know that they can be modified or replaced. Instead of acting, you may choose to settle into the realness of you. You may choose to know yourself as the one warm body in a room full of mirrors. You are an authentic being. However you shape your acting skills and however much you crave an audience, play with life. Play with your fellow artists. Take advantage of every opportunity to learn more about the mystery of you. Well, I see it's getting late. You and I must leave each other, but only for now. You have my love and my encouragement. If awareness is important to you, the adventure is on. If truth is what you're looking for, opinions don't matter. You've already distinguished yourself by going your own way. Continue to make choices the way an artist would, and dare to inspire. You were meant to turn inspiration into something magical and offer it back to humanity. That is your gift as an artist and your enduring legacy.